All right, so we finished all of those arithmetic sequences. So let me sum it up by saying that the arithmetic sequences, they have a common difference, which means you add or subtract something each time. Okay, and so now let's get on to the geometric sequences. Let's take a look at the pattern first. So if you're looking at the pattern, I'm going to do this in green this time. You go from 1, 2, 4, 8. So let's think about what that pattern might be. Hopefully you guys are thinking multiply by 2 each time. Okay, and so I'm going to write that down in the pattern. So 1 times 2 is 2. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. So the pattern is multiply by 2. And so the R is going to be 2. So let me show you how you calculate our common ratio, the R value, the common ratio. So you're going to choose any two numbers. I'm just going to choose the first two numbers for consistency. So we're going to take the second number, which is 2, divide it by the first number, which is 1. So 2 divided by 1 gives us 2, which is our common ratio of 2. This is the number you multiply by every single time. Let me show you that you can get this common ratio by choosing any two consecutive numbers. So I can choose 4 and 8 because they are right next to each other. And I can do the same process, take the second number, which is 8, divide it by the first number, which is 4, and then that can give us 8 divided by 4, which is 2. See, it's the same answer. So you can get the common ratio by choosing any two numbers that are right next to each other. Okay? Now let's take a look at one more. We are looking at number 14 here. What is the pattern for this one? And for this one, you might have several different ways of describing it, which is totally fine. Okay, so let's see. Some of you might think, okay, it looks like divide by 2 and flip the sign. So I'm going to write that. Divide by 2, flip sign. I'll just write FS. And then also divide by 2 and flip the sign. Also, there is a typo here. I apologize for that. I did not make the worksheet. Sometimes people make typos. It's okay. So then divide by 2 and flip the sign. If you didn't get the pattern just because of the typo, it's okay. I'm telling you it's a typo. Also, please fix that same typo on number 20 over here. Okay? Same typo because we just use the same numbers for number 20. So please fix that typo over here on number 20 as well. All right, so we said the pattern was divide by 2 and flip the sign. Okay, and so how does that pattern appear in a common ratio? So we're about to figure that out. Let's choose two consecutive numbers. Oops, sorry. Choose two consecutive numbers. So I'm going to choose 64 and negative 32. So just like before, we're going to take the second number, divide it by the first number. Negative 32 divided by 64. And when you do this and you simplify it, you're going to get negative 0.5. In other words, negative 1/2. Okay? And so your common ratio is going to be negative 1/2. Let me show you once again that you can do this with any other set of numbers. So let me choose 16 and negative 32, those two consecutive numbers right next to each other. Take the second number, divide it by the first number, and if you type this in a calculator or you know how to simplify fractions, you're going to still get the negative 1/2, also known as negative 0.5. So you can still get the same common ratio. Okay? And so when you are dividing by 2 and flipping the sign, you are really multiplying by a negative 1/2, a negative 0.5. The reason for this is because that fraction, that negative 1/2, the fact that there's a 2 in the denominator means that you are dividing by 2. All fractions are division problems. So I'm going to sum this up over here in the geometric sequence, this vocabulary word. So instead of adding or subtracting each time like an arithmetic sequence, we are simply multiplying each time. Okay? And you're multiplying by the common ratio. And in contrast, back to the arithmetic sequence, you are adding or subtracting each time by the common difference. Okay? So that's a little quick summary of the vocabulary words that we learned in the beginning. This time we showed you a little bit of the patterns of common ratios and geometric sequences as well. So let me know if you have any questions. Make sure you ask, because if you don't ask, I will never know.